Hello students, today we discuss the another very important chapter for NEET examination, that is human health and disease. In this particular chapter there are particular subtopics are present, that is common diseases in human beings, then what is meant by immunity, then AIDS, cancer, drugs and alcohol abuse. These are the particular subtopics. Before that one, what is the meaning of health and all? So, a state of well-being, both physical, mental, as well as social. So, a state of physical, mental, social well-being, that particular condition is called as a health and all. What is it by disease? So, discomfort or disability of that particular health status and all, whether it is physical or mental or social, whatever it may be, that is specific disturbance or disability or discomfort of a particular health is called as disease and all. Now say, how many types of diseases? Do you know? There are three types of diseases. What are the three types of diseases? One is communicable disease. Another one is non-communicable disease. Third one is congenital diseases. Among these three types of diseases, which one we call as infectious disease? That means that a disease is spread from one person to another person. Another type of one, the disease cannot spread from person to person. Another type of disease, it must be spread through congenital, that means genetical disorder. Without, so from birth onwards, from whenever pregnancy, that particular chromosomal abnormalities, genetical disorders, that is also another type of the diseases it will come. So whenever they ask the question, how many types of diseases, your answer will be the three types and all. One is the communicable disease. There are three types. One is communicable, then non-communicable, then congenital, otherwise we call it as this is infectious, non-infectious. This is the genetical disorder, like that three and all. So, which among these three it infect or it is spread through pathogens or through parasites and all? Infectious disease or communicable disease, it is spread from person to person, it infect through pathogens or parasites and all. So what type of parasites normally affected these communicable diseases and all? Viruses, bacteria, protozoan, helminth parasite, rickettsia, chlamydia, such type of these particular infectious parasites, it causes communicable or infectious diseases and all. Then which one? Non-communicable disease. That means non-infectious diseases and all. Which type? Regarding related to non-infectious disease, some of these were disorder deficiency as well as dysfunctioning of the organs. Then apart from this one, regarding related to cancer as well as allergic condition, then mental disorders. These particular things, non-communicable or non-infectious diseases and all. Then genetical disorder, already we studied in principles of inheritance also, mental disorder as well as chromosomal disorder and all. Mental disorder is nothing but genetical disorder. What type of disease is genetical disorder and all? Genetical disorder in that sense, that is alkaptonuria, then phenylketonuria, albinism, color blindness, such type of these particular diseases, phenylketonuria, alkaptonuria, albinism, color blindness, such type of these particular diseases comes under gene disorder and all. Then apart from this one, otherwise we call as mental disorder. Then chromosomal abnormalities like Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome. So these particular, so you must identify which particular disease comes under infections, which particular disease comes under non-infections, what type of disease comes under genetical disorder. That you must remember carefully. That is very important in NEET type of examination, objective type of examination and all. Infectious diseases, normally it comes like bacterial disease, then viral disease, protozoal disease, and helminthes as well as fungal infection. Apart from this one, rickettsia, pneumonia-like organism, chlamydia, such type of microorganisms also it causes one. So certain common regarding related to infectious diseases and all. Then non-infectious diseases, that is deficiency disorder. Apart from this one, degeneracy, degenerating organs, degenerating or dysfunctioning of organ, degenerating or dysfunctioning. Dysfunctioning, degenerating as well as dysfunctioning of the organ. Then mental disorder, allergy, cancer, as well as cancer, such type of diseases, non-infectious, it may not be spread, it may not be infectious from one person to another person, even though that particular affected person, even though if it touch another healthy person, it never affect, it never infect and all. Then genetical, Mendelian disorder, already we said, that is Mendelian and chromosomal genetical disorder. Mendelian, that genetical disorder. That means gene deficiency. This is a chromosomal deficiency. In this Mendelian disorder, that is alkaptonuria, phenylketonuria, then albinism. Apart from this one, hemophilia and color blindness. So such type of the diseases comes under Mendelian disorder. Then chromosomal, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, then Turner's and the Klinefelter and Down syndrome. These comes under chromosomal. So you know which comes under chromosomal abnormality, which comes under genetical disorder and all. So this particular one, it spread, it infect from that particular, from womb of the mother, that genetical deficiency, genetical disorder and all. Then non-communicable, suppose deficiency disorder in that sense like a hormonal deficiency, nutritional deficiency. So deficiency, in this one deficiency disorder, for example, nutritional deficiency, protein deficiency, what type of disease normally affected? Kwashiorkor. Protein calorie deficiency, what type of disorder? It is marasmus. Such type of nutritional, as well as vitamin B1 deficiency, what type of disorder? Beriberi. Vitamin C deficiency, scurvy. Vitamin D deficiency, rickettsia, as well as knock-knee, bullets. Such type of the disorders and all. That is deficiency disorder. Apart from this one, hormonal disorders. like insulin disorder, diabetes, mellitus and all, or one more hormone, deficiency of that this particular AD, that is regarding related to diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus also one type of hormonal disorder and all. Hormonal, there is vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone. So like that, either hormonal disorders or nutritional disorders, it is also comes under deficiency disorder. It may not be spread from person to person and all. That is very important. Then degenerating or dysfunctioning of the organ, dysfunctioning of the systems and all. Suppose in heart failure, that is heart disease, kidney failure, renal disease, is there any particular organ may not be functioning properly, that a specific type of disease it must be affected. Such type of diseases may not be spread from person to person, that mind it and all. That mental disorder, some persons always thinking stress, strain, anxiety, anger, all these one. There is also one type of disease, but it is not be spread. If the person laughing, smiling face, that is only look like that particular healthy and particular separate sitting and unnecessarily thinking and this is also one type of stress, one type of strain, one type of depression, one type of anxiety, severe angry. There is also one type of disease. That's why in beginning also I told what is by health? A state of well-being of physical, mental, social well-being. That is only we call as health and all. Is there any disturbance of physical? Is there any disturbance of that particular type of the mental and social well-being? That condition we call as a disease. Not only suffering physical, any disturbance, that is not a disease. Even though mental disorder also a type of the disease and all. But it may not be spread. Allergic reaction. What type of allergy? Is there any specific foreign microorganism? Is there any foreign particular things, foreign germs? If it attack, then hypersensitivity. Hypersensitivity in our body activities and all. That condition we call as allergy. The best example for allergic reaction, asthma. That is very difficult to take the breathing, especially during this particular season and all. That rainy winter season, especially rainy as well as winter, but more probably in winter season, it is very difficult to take that particular breath. It is also a type of allergic reaction. Remaining season, it may not, that persons may not be suffering, either male or female and all. Then cancer, abnormal mitotic cell division, abnormal mitotic tissue division. That condition we call as a cancer. That is we call as a tumor. That is, apart from this one, addiction also. One type of non-infectious. Addiction is alcohol addiction, tobacco addiction, drug addiction, chara, ganja, hashish, marijuana, such type of particular type of the drugs, as well as continuously some of the persons they must take daily little amount of alcohol. That is one type of addiction. It may not spread person to person, but even whomever taking such type of alcohol is also suffering one type of the disease. But what type of disease? Non-infectious disease and all. So addiction, either tobacco, either alcohol, such type of drug, there is also one type of non-infectious and all. Then communicable. So here in this PUC level, they have given very clearly the common diseases. In 8.1, they have given some common diseases in human beings. Some common diseases. Normally, they give regarding related to infectious diseases, specifically infectious diseases. So, why I stressed much times and all, many times and all, they have given such type of the diseases multiple times in previous competitive exam. If you know which is infectious, which is non-infectious, which is congenital, then easily answer such type of the question and all. Then common diseases in human beings, especially infectious diseases and all. Non-infectious diseases also, it is there. But according to our particular book and all, they have given infectious, the common diseases, especially how to overcome. So, all persons may not get diseases. Why? Only certain people suffering from disease, it is also one particular order. Disease also may not be affected all persons. It is also one particular steps, one particular order. It is particular steps are there. First step is the infection, second is the incubation, then manifestation, then termination. It is also one specific order. The person who are not maintain proper hygienic condition, proper imbalanced diet and all, as well as they may not take the proper type of the diet, as well as improper diet, as well as personal unhygienic and all, as well as social hygienic may not be maintained properly. That particular person's only time to time they may not be sleep properly. Time to time they may not take proper amount of food material. This is especially that particular person unhygienic in our surrounding, in our home needs everything and all. Then it may be causes and spread the diseases and all. How to control? If you keep our surroundings very hygienic, if you maintain our diet, balanced diet in a improper balanced diet, proper time to time, then no problem, no disease, it never be affected and all. If you sleep properly on a specific time in night, why? Because melatonin, one specific hormone released only during night time. If you sleep morning, afternoon time, that is not a good for health and all. Only night time only it releases. Then again it reduces that particular hormone morning time. So according to hormone, all these if it is balancing, then only the person become healthy and all. Here, what are the common diseases? They have given some bacterial diseases and all. What type of bacterial diseases? Normally it is present under bacterial diseases like typhoid, as well as cholera and diphtheria, then pertussis, tetanus, pneumonia, as well as tuberculosis and leprosy, etc. Very different types are present and all. But you understand, you must remember which type of infectious bacterial diseases normally affected in human beings and all. So these are commonly, apart from this one, dysentery, plague, it is also it will be present and all. Dysentery as well as a plague, it is also present and commonly. So while giving the question, you read once or twice which among the following human disease affected by the bacteria, affected by the virus, affected by the protozoa, affected by the helminth, affected by the fungus. So you remember, you must read once or twice what is the specific type of the question. If it is bacteria, if already studied, these are common bacterial diseases affected in human beings and all. So in our textbook they have given typhoid as well as pneumonia. Only two diseases only they have given. If you know all what are the diseases, then it is easy to identify which is the bacterial and all. According to our syllabus, they have given only typhoid, pneumonia. Remaining they may not given. But you must know what type of diseases normally affected by the bacteria. So typhoid, what is the common? So what is the disease causing organism? Here we must know about which is the disease causing organism. Normally it affected to the typhoid and all. Disease causing organism. This is disease causing organism. Salmonella typhi. What is the name of bacteria which causes typhoid? Then what is your answer? Salmonella typhi. In this one, how it enter into our body? That means The infection, how it enter in our body? Normally it enter in our body through contaminated food and water. While taking food, while drinking water, if it is clean, hygienic, healthy, then it never enter any type of disease causing organism. If it is ill health, if it is not good, if it is not clear, then such type of water, that is as well as food, unhygienic food, then there may be possible such type of the bacteria, it enters in our body. Then after entering, immediate after entering, it won't get any disease. Suppose if you join PUC, immediately no one gives certificate immediately. How much period of time you must read PUC? Minimum 2 years. So if you fail, 3 years, 4 years also. Here also, after entering of this one, minimum, that is 1 to 3 weeks time. Minimum 1 week. Why it is 3 weeks? If the person become very strong, more immunity, then it takes very late. It takes very late, such type of disease will be affected in our body and all. If it is very loose immunity in our body, immediately within week only it affected. That particular period after infection, how it infected? Contaminated food and water. After infected, where it reaches means it enters specific part of our body. What is that specific part? That is we call as small intestine. It must be present in small intestine. Then after entering specific period of time, while multiplication of the specific salmonella typhi, the specific period of time after infection, before affected of these particular symptoms, that is we call as incubation period. What is the incubation period? 1 to 3 weeks is the incubation period. Then how can we know? How can we diagnose? What is the confirmation test in typhoid and all? That is viral test. The confirmation test of this one, that is viral test. In that viral test, what are the symptoms? After taking viral test, yes, this is the salmonella typhoid and all. What are the symptoms normally appearance to this particular typhoid and all? Typhoid nothing but fever. But what is the difference between normal fever and typhoid fever? Typhoid fever, high fever. Normally what is the temperature? What is the human body temperature? 37 degrees Celsius. But whomever suffering from typhoid, 39 to 40 degrees Celsius and all. That much high fever it is present. Apart from this one, abdominal pain as well as constipation, headache, such type of lack of appetite. That means the person who is suffering from fever, they are not feeling the specific type of the eating food material. They are not feeling eating food, hungry and all. So they lost their specific hungry time to time. Without hungry, whatever one can take, they are not feeling hungry and all. That is we call as lack of appetite. So what are the symptoms of the typhoid? High fever, headache, constipation, as well as abdominal pain, that lack of appetite. These are the common symptoms appear to the typhoid and all. Then such type of this particular one, how it must be prevented. That means how it must be controlled and all. So normally vaccination is there. What is the name of the vaccine of the typhoid and all? The vaccine, TAB vaccine. One vaccine is there, typhoid. Vaccine in that sense, typhoid and paratyphoid A and B. There are two types are present. Typhoid, paratyphoid, both A and B vaccine. So typhoid without entering, without infection, then there is a particular vaccine. Vaccine in that sense, already you know, vaccine means without, that means prevention method. That a specific drug, it must be present and all. Then coming to cholera, what type of disease causing organism normally causes to the cholera? Vibrio Vibrio cholera. So name of the disease causing organism, it is very very important and all. So what is the incubation period? How it infected? It is also infected to the contamination, food and water. What is the incubation period? It is a few hours to days. That means 2 to 3 days incubation period and all. But in cholera also vaccine is there. What is the vaccine? TABC. Typhoid and paratyphoid AB as well as cholera vaccine and all. Then diphtheria. What is the specific test to confirmation of the diphtheria? Schick test and all. Normally disease causing organism, it will be present. Corynebacteria, diphtheria. What is the specific test to identify the diphtheria and all? That is the Schick test and all. In this diphtheria, normally fever, difficult to take the breathing, such type of the symptoms, normally it appearance and all. It is also a specific vaccination is there. What is the name of that vaccine? DPT, D for diphtheria, P for pertussis, T for tetanus and all. Such type of, that's why we call it as triple antigen and all. Then pertussis, it is also a type of the cough. What type of cough? Woofing cough. At the time of cough, woof sound it will be comes out and all. It is normally what type of specific disease causing organism? Bordetella, pertussis. Bacillus Bordetella pertussis, that is specific woofing cough. It normally, while coughing, the affected person, while coughing, what happened? Total face become reddish color and all at the time of coughing and all. So it is also controlled with the help of DPT. But the cholera spread contaminated food and water. But diphtheria at the time of infected person cough, that means the droplets of saliva from infected person to the normal person. Pertussis also, the infected person, droplets of saliva, that means airborne infection. The incubation period, the diphtheria, the incubation period normally it is present up to 6 days, it will be present and all. Here 10 to 16 days it is present and all. Then tetanus, Clostridium, tetany and all. It infected direct contact, infected wound, it immediately affected. What are the common symptoms or appearance? Common symptoms in that sense, locked jaw. That means the facial muscles become contracted. It is unable to rotate, unable to move, unable to open the mouth properly, frequently, happily. That is commonly called as locked jaw. Why? Because that particular muscles, facial muscles become contracted maximum period of time. That's why we call it as a locked jaw. How it is spread, how it infected? It infected direct contact. Whomever suffering from wound, then what is the incubation period? Up to 25 days. Up to 25 days, it spread, it infected. Then how it must be controlled? DPT would be. Pneumonia, it is Streptococcus pneumonia as well as Haemophilus influenza. There are two bacteria are present. Streptococcus as well as Haemophilus. Any one among either Streptococcus pneumonia or Haemophilus influenza. So what is the particular host where it must be infected? Normally it infect in alveoli of the lungs and all. While reaching of mucus as well as lymph, it filled, normally alveoli filled with air and all. Whomever inserting that specific pneumococcus or streptococcus or Haemophilus and all, such particular person, that specific alveoli filled with liquid and all. Whenever filled with liquid, very difficult while taking of the breathing and all. Difficult to take the breathing. That's why it is also spread through while coughing as well as utensils. Whomever suffering that specific pneumonia, the person taking of the glass, infected person using of the glass, if healthy person it must be used, it must be affected. As well as other utensils like a plate, like any other one. From infected person to healthy person, it must be spread and all. So what are the symptoms normally present under normal symptoms? Cough is present as well as headache is present. Then apart from this one, little bit of light fever, difficult to take the breathing. These are particular one. But there is no any vaccine related to that particular pneumonia and all. So if it is severe, the pneumonia, whomever suffering from very severe, the nails become into the bluish color, as well as lips becomes into the bluish color. Whenever very severe, from one person to another infected person to the healthy person, normally it must be spread. So infected person while eating of the plate, same plate without washing properly, healthy person if it eat, it must be spread. That particular Haemophilus or Streptococcus and all. So what is the specific incubation period? It is incubation period 1 to 3 days and all. What is the incubation period of pneumonia? 1 to 3 days and all. What are the symptoms of pneumonia? Normal fever, headache, apart from this one, cough. It is commonly it will be present. This pneumonia, if it is severe and bluish color of the nails as well as lips, it will be present. No vaccine. No vaccine, it will be present and all. Here, TB, tuberculosis, which disease causing organism? It causes for the tuberculosis mycobacteria, tuberculosum. Normally, mycobacterium, tuberculosum, TB and all. What is the specific test to identify, to confirmation of TB and all? Montex test and all. What is the name of the test? Montex test. If it is identified, if it is given one particular injection within 24 hours, it must be identified and all. So Montex test to identify this particular TB. If it is any skin they have given, after given within 24 hours, if it is spread, if it is swollen, then yes, the person suffering from one type of this one, tuberculosis and all. If it is as it is, without swelling, the specific area wherever give injection, then there is no TB and all. What is the symptoms? How it will be spread? How it will be infected? It is also while coughing, the infected person. That means airborne infection only. Infected person without wearing proper amount of the towel, proper amount of these hands and all, directly it is spread person to another person and all. What is the incubation period? Incubation period normally several days to weeks and all. Depends upon the particular human being and all. But what are the symptoms normally present? Severe cough. Along with the cough, little amount of blood also it will be entering along with the cough, as well as hoarseness of the throat and all. Very difficult to take the breathing and all. Then normally continuous cough, little amount of blood also it must be spreading and all. Then here also one specific vaccine is there. What is the name of the vaccine? To prevent this particular TB and all, BCG vaccine is present. What is the full form of BCG? Bacillus calmette guerin. Calmette guerin is the scientist who identified, who prepared this specific vaccine and all to prevent, to control the tuberculosis and all. Then leprosy, Mycobacterium leprae. It is Mycobacterium leprae. It is lost their sensation. Whomever suffering from Mycobacteria leprae, it lost their sensation. Even though if you prick, normally if you touch any heat substance, cold substance, if you prick one pin, immediately we feel either pain, either heat, either cold and all. Whomever suffering from leprosy, they lost their sensory part. They lost their sensory part, especially their skin and all. That's why maximum wounds are appearing and all. But maximum wounds are appearing and all. That is Mycobacterium leprae. So it is also spread. It may not be spread through direct contact and all. So it is not at all spread through direct contact, but infected person, the specific microorganisms enter another one, then only it will be spreading. So there is no a specific vaccine for leprosy also. Then dysentery, Shigella bacteria. Shigella bacteria, it is spread by contamination of food and water. It is also few hours to days 1 or 2 days, it is spread and all. What is the symptoms? The loose a specific motions, watery motions and all. That is the symptoms of the dysentery and all. It is also, there is no specific vaccine. Normally, one specific house place, it spread from infected person to that healthy and all. There itself only, without covering our utensils, especially food as well as whatever eating food material, without covering properly, there and then only fecal matter will be present and all. House place act as a mechanical vector to spreading of this dysentery and all. While losing this one, to loss that specific to that water, that means dehydration. Then among this one, which type of the disease? Normally loss of the weight and all, especially TB. Whoever suffering from TB, apart from this cough and all, to lost their body weight also. So there is also no specific and all. If you keep hygienic that water as well as food, then it must be controlled and all. Then plague and all. Yersinia pestis. What is the name of the one? Yersinia pestis is the bacteria causes to the plague. Normally we call it as bubonic plague and all. It is also fever. It is also normally it's suffering from fever and all. Then in this specific one, it is also that plague. It is also there is no. It is also one specific vaccine. But what is the test to identify that plague and all? Here also the Vaccine stain test and all. It is Vaccine that stain test. Vaccine stain test, but it is spread through rats and all, rat fleas, ready to spreading this particular plague disease and all. If you control the population of the rats, then automatically it is also controlled to the plague and all. So these are bacterial. Among these bacterial, which among these one normally we call as Mary Mallon? Who is the particular cook? What type of bacterial disease? Normally suffering several years due to the particular disease, the particular person spreading maximum number of people and all. That particular person is the cook and all. That is Mary Mallon. Otherwise we call it as a typhoid Mary and all. Which among these bacterial disease normally affected? Typhoid 1. Typhoid, that is specific cook, several years suffering that particular disease and all. So remaining also you must listen, observe, then only it is easily identified that specific. Which among this one, the intestinal perforation, it may be causes death also. Why? Because typhoid only, if it is present several continuously maximum period of time, then what happens? Automatically the perforation of the intestine, it may be causes the death also. Why? Because if the small intestine, a small holes are appearance, then what happens? It is not able to absorb digested material. That's why without entering of that digested food material, then that person maximum period of time it is suffering or affected and it causes to the death also. Then apart from this one, what are the viral infections? Normally it will be present under many disease causing organisms, that is viral diseases. Normally here they have given common cold. What is the commonly we call as rhinitis? What do we call as common cold and rhinitis? It is very common each and every individuals and all. Commonly group of viruses, rhinoviruses. Recently one more viral disease it is suffering, there is corona. Earlier it is called as SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. It is also one group of coronavirus only, it must be affected and all. This is rhino group of viruses. Rhinoviruses. Not only one, more than 200 different types of rhinoviruses are present. Any one among this one. Some of the persons they are suffering several weeks. Some of the persons within 1 or 2 days disappear. Some persons 1 or 2 months. According to type of viruses. Not only 1 or 2. More than 200 different types of rhinoviruses it attacking. How it is spread, how it infected from person to person. It is also through droplets of saliva. That means droplets. Through droplet infection, that means nasal congestion, sneezing, apart from this one, sore throat, as well as little amount of the headache, all these symptoms, as well as some of the persons they are suffering watering of the eyes also, whomever suffering that particular cold and all. Which particular body part normally it affected? It affected to the nose, not to lungs and all. It affected only nose as well as nasal passages and all. So normally what are the symptoms? Nasal congestion, sneezing and headache. These are the common symptoms appearance to the. What is the incubation period of common cold and all? That is 3 to 7 days. Within 1 week. Normally it will be present and all. How it is spread, that is most important. How this disease causing organism, whomever suffering from cold, the infected person to the healthy person, how it is spread? Through whomever suffering like a particular cold and all, by using of the pen, by using of the keyboard, as well as mouse, as well as pen, as well as paper, whatever the things the person suffering, if it touch that specific area without cleaning properly, then if you touch that particular things, either pen, either pencil, either utensils, either while mouse using of the computer board, operating systems and all, without proper care and all, whomever suffering, suppose infected person, while operating that particular mouse, all these one, without cleaning properly, if you sit that one, automatically that person also it must be ready to spread. Or blowing of the nose in normal area, it dry up the whatever the virus it is spread throughout the air. That means indirectly it is airborne infection. That's why whoever suffering this disease, it must be covering of the napkins. It must be covering of the at least the hands and all, without spreading of the specific observations and all, specific contamination of the air and all. That is. But is there any vaccine present in cold? There is no any specific vaccine present into the cold and all. What is the common name of this one? Rhinitis. What is the virus? Rhinoviruses normally affected to the common cold and all. Apart from this one, any other viruses commonly it must be present and all. Along with this one, it is also present smallpox. It is also present smallpox as well as chicken pox. Smallpox, chicken pox also it must be as well as normally, and polio. Smallpox means variola. Chicken pox means varicella zoster virus. Poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis virus, normally it must be present. So according to our syllabus, they have given only common cold. Apart from this one, you know about what is the other diseases which causes to the viruses. Apart from this one, measles also present. Which virus normally causes to the measles and all? Normally measles, rubeola virus and all. Then mumps and all. Mumps normally paramyxovirus and all. Then apart from this one, this is rubella virus. That is normally we call it German measles and all. There also a specific vaccine will be present. Here also common cold there is no vaccine, but smallpox there is a vaccine. Chicken pox also vaccine is there. Polio also oral polio vaccine is present. Apart from this one, hepatitis A vaccine, A virus vaccine, hepatitis B virus vaccine, as well as H influenza, that particular vaccine. There is also viral infection. Then along with this one, it is also present dengue fever. Dengue fever also it is one among these viral infections and all. SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Which viruses commonly affected to the SARS? That is coronaviruses. Normally affected to the SARS and all. That means severe acute respiratory syndrome. Normally it infected to that respiratory system, especially that bronchi, bronchioles, the lungs, in that specific areas. it was very difficult to take the breathing and all. Corona group of viruses normally. So what type of SARS that is apart from this one? MMR vaccine is there. What type of disease normally to control the MMR vaccine? MMR. Measles, mumps and rubella. Rubella means German measles. Mumps in that sense, after 15 years, parotid glands very difficult to opening of the mouth and all. Then measles below 2 years, rashes of the skin. Normally it will be present and all. So now at present in our country, completely wiped out. That is related to the smallpox. Why? Because it was general. This particular, the specific vaccine are identified, this one. Completely now it is wiped out and all. So, apart from this one, the remaining diseases we'll discuss in next class.